Good morning and welcome to New Day Cleveland. It's time for breakfast. It's time for breakfast every day, right? And you know what we learned? We learned that this is one of your favorite shows. This is the fourth time we've done a breakfast show, visiting diners all over Northeast Ohio. We're talking about bacon and eggs, ham and eggs, sausage and eggs. We're talking about toast. We're talking about waffles. How about some omelets? All kinds of crazy things. Crazy things here that you can't even describe, but you're going to want to try for sure. And as we say this, we're going to start right here at the Washington Street Diner. Well, Dan, I feel like I'm pretty lucky to get into the Washington Street Diner because I hear this place is always jammed up in the morning.
We do pretty well. We're very busy. We're filled with regulars basically all the time. It's more like a country club than it is a restaurant.
So you see all the same guys like every single morning?
Every single morning.
Hey, so what do you think it is about diners that, this is our fourth show doing these breakfast shows and doing a lot of diners. What is it about diners that people have such an attachment to? I mean, it's eggs and bacon mostly, you know?
I think they're generally in their neighborhood and people are coming to see their friends. So, it started out with just a few people. They've all become friends over the years. So now, you'll see most people are standing, talking to the table next to them, or introducing themselves to somebody new.
And I guess it's fun to eat too. I was looking at some of the specials up here. Like you got a thing called the breakfast bowl up there. What's the breakfast bowl?
Breakfast bowl is basically a big bowl with eggs and home fries, bacon, cheese, sausage gravy, all piled up together. It's a favorite. We do it as a special sometimes, and the regulars just order it when they want it. What do you think is the most popular item here? The most popular item for breakfast is probably the breakfast melt, which is potato pancakes with over easy eggs, Swiss cheese, and corned beef.
What time do you open up?
We open at 6:30. We close at 2:30 every day.
Oh, that's nice.
And we're open, unless there's some kind of problem here, we are open every day but Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, so the coffee, how do you sell the coffee? By the cup, or once you sit down, it's like an unending cup of coffee?
It's an unending cup of coffee.
Now that's a good cup of coffee.
Even the to-go cups are unending cups of coffee.
That's how it is.
Yes.
Hey, so we're talking about lunches too. So what kind of things do you guys make for lunch?
Traditional lunch. We do patty melts, Reubens, corned beef, giant salads, specials occasionally. Yeah. We try to do specials and soups every day, but it's more sporadic.
Yeah, I was really taken in the beginning, you talking about it's almost like having a family, because it is an extended family. I mean,
this is my family now.
This is it?
Yeah, we all do everything together. Yeah. We go out together, we celebrate holidays together, and it's very nice.
Right from the beginning, you loved this business.
I did. I always wanted to do it. Always wanted to do it. It took a long time to find the right place, but...
So what time do you get up for work?
For me, it's not that bad. I get up around 6:30.
Yeah.
Molly, I think, gets up closer to 5. The cooks, are probably here at about 5:30.
And you're always happy to show up at the Washington Street Diner?
Always.
In Bainbridge?
In Bainbridge.
Great to see you.
Thank you very much.
There are so many reasons to visit Grafton. Not only does Check Please Café offer real ingredients like real maple syrup and real butter, but you can also customize your order to get all of those ingredients that you want.
Check Please. We are a family-style restaurant in Grafton. We do breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast all day. We do things the way I would do them at home. We decided that we wanted to own our own business and we wanted to have a restaurant that we would want to eat at, that cooked things the way that we wanted them prepared. In the kitchen, when we cook all of our breakfast, really when we cook anything, the only oil that the cooks have available is butter from Minerva Dairy. So it's the roll butter, the Amish butter. It has great flavor. No vegetable oils, no artificial sprays, no artificial anything. We use real maple syrup, we cook in real butter, we use Amish eggs. We do local bacon, local breakfast meats, no MSG, no nitrate. I think there's definitely a trend of people wanting to eat clean, they want to eat healthier, and a lot of times when you go out to eat, you feel like you're compromising in some way, like you're eating things that you're like, but we're out to eat. We wouldn't eat this way at home, but we'll do it because we're here. And the idea was just to have a restaurant where my kids can literally order anything on the menu and I don't feel bad about it. You can either order off the menu or you can order off of check sheets. So we have 3 different check sheets because the other concept was for it to be, and that's why we called it Check Please, is because you get to check boxes to create your own breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So when you order breakfast, we don't have any omelets on the menu. You just choose all the ingredients that are in the omelet. This way people can literally just pick every single item that goes into their omelet or onto their breakfast plate. You can build your own sandwich. You can do chicken gyros. You can do turkey Reubens. You can do anything you want that you can think of. All the ingredients that we have in the kitchen are listed, and then you can create your own. Usually when you get breakfast, you're always getting either like a grits or potatoes, but I tend to follow more of a lower carb and maybe a little healthier lifestyle. So grilled tomatoes is one of the breakfast options that we offer as a side. We have epic coffee. Like, our coffee is really good. Called Red Cedar Coffee Company. It's in Berea. That coffee is amazing. People are just like, oh my gosh, this coffee, because it's not diner coffee. Like, every ingredient was chosen because of its quality and its taste, and because it's, if I'm going to be here however many hours a day, that's what I want to eat and drink. It needs to be good, and I want to share that with people so they know. And like the local milk, we use a dairy in Ashland. It's called Buckeye Country Creamery. They don't homogenize their milk. It's minimally treated. You have to shake it really good because it's not homogenized, but it's so good. And we make our gravy with that. Like, our sausage gravy doesn't even come from a can. It's got 4 things in it: meat, milk, flour, pepper. That's it. And it's so good. It doesn't have to come in a can. It doesn't have to have a paragraph of ingredients. It's just very simple things. So we're in a plaza. The business at the end is called Grammy's Primitives Treasures, and she sells like country decor, knickknacks, and home candles and things like that. A lot of her merchandise is on display on one of our walls, and you can purchase it here, and you can also just take it down to her shop and shop there. So come for breakfast and then go shopping in the other end of the plaza. I think the best thing is when people acknowledge what makes our diner different, what makes our food different. And when they notice the quality difference, like the Himalayan sea salt at the tables, the real maple syrup with the homemade pancakes that have whole wheat in them. And when they appreciate what makes our food different and that we're not every other diner with different stuff on the walls, then I just feel really proud of what we've done.
Check Please is located on Main Street in Grafton. Still to come, we are visiting places like Wooster, Chesterland, Akron, and more.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Our next stop, go big or go home. This is one of those places for breakfast. Hey, there's no reason you go home hungry. Not at this place. It's the Silver Skillet in Chesterland.
Silver Skillet is a family-run restaurant. People normally come here for the corned beef, the actual skillet, which is a layer of eggs, home fries, sausage gravy, cheese, and bacon. Everything is homemade. So Sundays I come in here, I make homemade apple pancakes. I'll make the cherry crumble. It's 2 pieces of thick cut French toast, and it has homemade crumbles, just like a cherry pie, and cherries on there. The Waffles Benedict is a half waffle with, so it's like your normal regular Benedict, but it's on a waffle. So that's a Waffle Benedict. So the Reuben is thick cut rye. Comes with corned beef hash, French fries, Swiss. It's pretty thick. So that's it. You're definitely not going to walk away hungry with the portion size that we have here. I'd like to say it's the atmosphere. It's good food, but the atmosphere. I really enjoy talking with everybody. I like to get to know everybody and their families, and when they come back, find out how their family's doing, how they're doing. I can tell you a little bit about every single one of the people that are in here right now. So it's a family run and operated, and it's just that kind of atmosphere. Everybody that comes in here comes in new, but you leave as part of our family. I have a great crew. Everybody that works here is absolutely amazing. So they've become they become part of the family. And I keep saying family, it's just, that's how it feels, you know. So I'm very proud of every single one of them. So Friday nights we have, we're open till 8 o'clock, and then we have a bunch of specials. We have the fish fry, which is, you know, all year long. And then if you look behind me on the board, there's different specials that we run every Friday. Just give us a call and we'll let you know how long the wait's going to be, whether it's going to be a 20-minute wait. Usually I won't have to wait any longer than 20 minutes to get in here.
The Silver Skillet in Chesterland is located on Chillicothe Rd, and here's the good news. It's open 7 days a week.
Can I interest you in a bachelor? That is the name of one of the omelets at a great little pastry shop in Wooster.
Tulipan is the name of my shop, and it means tulip in Hungarian. Everybody asking me if this was a lifelong dream to open a pastry shop, and actually I wish I would be that smart and figure this out much earlier, but this idea just came late in my life when my kids were all grown. What I wanted to sort of duplicate is the coffee shops back home in Budapest and Hungary, which everybody loves, and I thought Americans would love this idea also, just to spend some relaxing time with friends, with good pastry and good coffee. The pastries, in one of my cases, I used to call this the pastries grandma used to make. Mostly we recommend those that mostly on the top of this first case here. I would call them coffee cakes, the Hungarian tea cake, the bishop hats, and we have 4 different kinds of strudel. Those are all good with coffee and for breakfast. The omelet idea came a little later because I was just so focused on the sweets. But then people asked me if you have something else for breakfast than just sweet things. And rolled omelets, I served for my family for a few years. I discovered this, the European style. So I thought, well, let's try that one. And the rolled omelets actually become probably the most popular in my shop, for my surprise. We're baking it on a baking sheet, and pour the batter on the baking sheet and put the fillings on top of it, bake it together, and when it's done, put some kind of cheese on top of it and roll it up with the cheese. So this leads to many different versions, you know, just like a pizza. You can experiment with many different fillings. Now we have 6. And have to keep all 6 all times because people, you know, have their favorites. The first we tried is a so-called bachelor's omelet, which has bacon and sausage and potato in the omelet. And we have a classic, which is just bacon and caramelized onion with Swiss cheese. And then we went to different countries. We have the Greek omelet, Greek rolled omelet with feta cheese and spinach. We have the Tuscan, sun-dried tomatoes and artichoke. What else? The Hungarian, those are our roasted peppers and onion. And we get different cheeses, like the French is mushroom and tomato with Parmesan cheese. The Hungarian is with goat cheese. And the Tuscan is with Asiago. This is very different what anybody else offers, I think. You find old-fashioned things that nobody has time to make anymore. And we really try to keep the tradition clean. And I do everything from scratch. Nothing is bought, you know, wholesale. And so these are time-consuming and delicious things that I think people really appreciate. You wouldn't believe how much nostalgia these pastries bring out. We had people in tears here sometimes that, oh my God, I haven't seen these since my grandma died, or you know, stories like this. And we hear these all the time, so it's pretty rewarding.
Tulipon Hungarian Pastry and Coffee Shop is located in downtown Wooster. When we come back, guess what? It's donut time. Welcome back to our breakfast show. It's about that time. I had to get my hot tea. So I had to stop here at Goldie's in Lyndhurst. Dustin, let me tell you, this is new to the scene, but donuts are flying off the shelves here, aren't they?
Yes, as you see, we're almost sold out this Monday morning.
So I know there's probably some secrets to what's in your donuts, and I know we're gonna make some of them today. I don't know how much you can really tell, though. I mean, there's gotta be some that you keep under lock and key zipped up.
Sure. Of course. Well, they're all trade secrets, but today you're gonna see apple fritters and our sour cream donuts. Brandon, our head baker, is gonna whip them up here fresh.
All right, Brandon,
just
why don't
walk
you
you
get to
through.
work and show us how easy or not so easy this is? I have a feeling it's not so easy, but he'll make it look easy, right?
He always does. Brandon's been doing this for just a few years.
Just a few. How many years have you been doing it?
On and off for about 10.
10 years. So when you wanted to do this business, what was the whole purpose behind it? Do you and your wife Paloma just love donuts?
You know, we've had a passion for good food our whole lives, and we kind of thought we could do it better. So we found a lot of talent along the way, including Brandon and a few other ladies that have been here for almost 30 years in the industry. So yeah, we think we've got it down to exact science. You'll have to let us know, but we think our fritters are the best in the land. And like I said, the sour cream donuts are pretty much what we're known for. Kind of a unique thing for us. So
what are the sour cream donuts then? That's separate.
it's like an old-fashioned donut with glaze,
Okay.
but there actually is sour cream in the mix. Doesn't necessarily taste like sour cream, but you'll see soon. That's my all-time favorite.
That's your all-time favorite? No, this must be second though.
You know, they're delicious. They use real apple. They make them fresh 7 days a week. But I don't know why. I'm an old school guy. I like the sour creams.
Okay, well that means you know what? I have to try a little bit of everything, I guess, when I'm here.
I've tried quite a bit, so I promise it's good.
So a lot of homemade action going on when it comes to, I mean, you're making these in small batches right here in this kitchen. Your storefront's right through that
Yeah.
doorway.
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part about the business, I think, is that, you know, donuts and fresh pastries don't have shelf life. So we make everything fresh 7 days a week. You know, we don't use preservatives, you know, so it's a 7-day-a-week job. And making the right amount is kind of hard because it's a little bit unpredictable. But, you know, the thing we care about most is that it's fresh and consistent.
How do you work in this kind of field and not want to eat a dozen of these every day?
As you can tell, I've eaten quite a few.
No, get outta here.
The rule is, Brandon, that I'm allowed to have one bite and I have to throw it away. So if the guys see me go grab one, I have to actually peel it off, throw it away first, then have the bite.
Okay.
But it's my job to be taste tester, so someone has to do the hard stuff.
What is it with the Goldie's donut? That's a new donut every month, basically? Or
Yeah.
a different donut you're featuring every month?
Exactly. So last month was pumpkin latte. This month is peanut butter and jelly. I think next month is a red velvet with like a vanilla ganache or something Brandon's working on. And some of the proceeds go to a special organization every month. So we pick a different charity, and I think it's 5% of the proceeds go to that charity every month. And so it's
really
exciting. We get to
great.
work with the community and get people involved a little bit.
Speaking of working with the community, I know out front you have some really cool donuts up along the wall
Yes.
and a great mural up along the wall.
Yes.
So you've collaborated with some local
Yes,
people.
the mural was actually a high school student, a girl that's really talented, went to college this year. The drive-through.
The drive-through is something you cannot forget when you're here, and you'll see it. It's the first thing you'll see. And so if you don't necessarily want to get out of the car,
Yeah.
you make it really simple.
For sure, it's good for people on the go or mothers with kids in the car or anything like that. And I would say about 50% of the people use the drive-through. So it's grown
That's
every
a
year.
lot.
Yeah.
Now, how do you do all this and have your own little donut at home?
Well,
Penelope.
our little Penelope's 3 weeks old, and she's an angel. Luckily, like I said, we have such a talented people here. They cover us so much. We pretty much get the supplies and do the ordering, and they take care of the rest. So everyone here has tons of experience.
All right, fresh and ready to go. I have my tea, I have my donut.
Now you have to take a bite, huh?
Of course! Oh my gosh. That's unbelievable.
Perfect.
Now I see why you love it so much.
That's my favorite.
And it's not just about the donuts here. Look at what else they have. This is Grandma's secret recipe.
That's Mama Goldie's secret recipe.
Cookies the size of your head. What else?
We have Russian tea biscuits and brownies and apple charlottes and tons of other great things. Cinnamon rolls.
Okay, he just named you so many reasons why you need to come here again. We're right in Lyndhurst on Mayfield Rd. It's Goldie's, and then go to the website if they want to find out the Goldie's donut of the month.
GoldiesDonuts.com, Instagram, Goldie's Donuts. We have the donut of the month there every month, and you can order online, and we have the full menu on there. So
I say it's worth the calories. Thank you so much for having me in, Dustin.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we understand not everyone enjoys eggs at 8 a.m. Maybe you're one of those people that, well, maybe you want dinner in the morning, right? Well, we've got just the place. It's called the Urban Kitchen.
Urban Kitchen is just what it sounds. It's a mix of everything that is urban. We offer both American as well as Middle Eastern specialties, and we end up specializing as well in some Egyptian dishes. It's a touch in making what is multicultural about America right here. I always wanted to open a restaurant, so when they built this building, Innova, I decided, hey, let's do it. There was also a need for this style of cooking or this style of food in the area. What makes our food unique is, first of all, you walk in the kitchen, there's not a microwave in sight. Nothing is reheated, nothing is cooked in a way that where you might find in a chain restaurant where it just puts something in the microwave and go. Everything is done same day and it's made to order. We take a little bit longer, but the quality is that much better because of what we do. Breakfast all day, dinner all day. We're in a medical environment. We have doctors that are coming out at 7 a.m. from a nighttime shift who want to eat dinner or grab a bite to eat, and then we have those who are going in. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, obviously, when you're cooking 20 omelets and then all of a sudden you get a chipotle chicken and shrimp pasta, which is what we're known for. So obviously now you got to kind of gear into a dinner mode and then go back into the breakfast mode. But again, that's what we're here for. We're here to fill that need. We don't go by the 3-egg, which most restaurants do. We actually go a little bit more. We like to incorporate our ingredients into the omelet rather than just stuffing whatever in the middle and folding it over. So there's a little bit more tender, loving care that goes with our omelets. It makes them nice, fluff, and huge. And I can promise you that you'll never leave here hungry. My family is originally from Egypt. One of the things that we wanted to introduce was Egyptian culture and Egyptian meals into the Cleveland area, which nobody has done. So we do certain things that most people aren't aware of, where if you were to go into Egypt, you would get street food. One of these things is, for example, a vegan and vegetarian meal called a kushari. You can find it on every street corner in Egypt, and it's what is known about Egyptians when you ask anybody from that part of the world. We have people that come for it. We make it in-house. Nobody else makes it or copies our recipe because it is that unique. Basically, it is a rice and lentil dish that is cooked, and then it is topped with garbanzo beans or chickpeas, as well as fried onions, a chili garlic sauce, as well as lentils and elbow macaroni. So it's a very nice heaping serving of carbs, but it is vegan and vegetarian friendly, as well as we can take the pasta and we have gluten-free pasta to make it, for those who have gluten allergies, more enjoyable for them. We also make a pasta bechamel, for example. The pasta bechamel is almost like a lasagna. It's penne pasta with a bechamel sauce, stuffed with sauteed ground beef that's seasoned with onions and various spices, topped with bechamel sauce, and it's delicious. We make our own homemade desserts in here as well, such as our baklava and our goulash, which is basically a turnover that's filled with a Danish cream. Can't say much more than you gotta taste it. You'll never leave disappointed. Everything's always fresh, everything's always on point. If you have an issue, you find me and I will make it right.
The Urban Kitchen is located on Chester, right across the street from the Cleveland Clinic, and they're closed on Sunday. When we return, it's Breakfast in the Valley.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. You can start your day with Breakfast in the Valley, where a crepe recipe comes from France. On top of that, the sourdough bread was started before you and I were even born. Check out Michael's AM.
First of all, welcome to Michael's. This restaurant's been here for 34 years. We've been a staple in the Merriman Valley and the Akron breakfast community for that long. I bought the restaurant in 2015. I'm from a restaurant family. My grandfather owned a restaurant in Chicago, And I grew up in that restaurant, and everything that we had in that place was completely homemade. And so when I came in here, that was primarily my thrust, to get rid of any processed, prepackaged foods. We went to organic and natural foods primarily, and we make it all ourselves. I do an Amish bread, an Amish cinnamon raisin bread. I lived in Pennsylvania for a while, and down the street was an Amish store, and I used to go in there and get sausage and other things. And they had this cinnamon bread that I really fell in love with. And one day, and I became friendly with one of the people in the store, the daughter of the owner of the store. And one day, her father stopped me on the way out and said, I'd like to talk to you. And I said, okay. So he said, I'd like you to leave my daughter alone. And I kind of was stunned by that. What do you mean by that? He said, I'm going to arrange a marriage with my daughter and another gentleman down the road, and I don't want anything to interfere with that. So please leave my daughter alone. I said, okay, well, what are you going to do for me? And he kind of looked at me stunned, and he said, well, what do you want? And I said, I want your cinnamon bread recipe. So he said, fine. He just agreed to it after a while, so that's where it came from. We've been known for our Eggs Benedict. We do 3 kinds of Eggs Benedict. We did the regular Eggs Benedict, but we do a Crab Benedict and a Lobster Benedict, which is really very, very popular. Some of the other things that we're familiar with, we do stuffed French toast. We do a lot of different kinds of breakfast entrees in terms of skillets and that. And all of our eggs are 100% organic. We do 3 different kinds of gluten-free bread. We do a blueberry bread. We do a cinnamon raisin bread, and I also do just a plain white. And I'm working on some other gluten-free recipes because we have quite a few people who have celiac disease and they come in for it. All of our meats are raised without steroids. They're raised without any kind of non-natural environment. They're all, grass-fed. And our chicken is basically free range. So we really emphasize healthy, quality, natural food. We're a friendly atmosphere. My employees have been here for a long time. Our customers are really family. And I think that the difference is in our food. The big difference is when you have organic eggs versus regular eggs, you can taste the difference. So that's one reason to come out here. But the other reason is our food's really good. And our patrons I have patrons that have been here for 34 years. They keep coming back all the time.
Michael's AM is located in the Merriman Valley in Akron.
Well, we're at a place that I always enjoy every time I get a chance to stop. It's in Chagrin Falls, but it's called Lemon Falls, and this is Jim. And a lot of folks know this place because Pablo and Jim put together the finest lobster roll in the world, don't you?
That's right, that's right.
Okay, but this is a breakfast show, so we're going to talk about breakfast a little bit because this is one of those places where you can grab stuff, grab and go. You can stop in here and have a breakfast. Let's talk about some of the things you guys make as breakfast items.
Okay, we do a wonderful, if you're in a hurry, we do a really great ham and cheese croissant that we zap it in the convection oven. 2 seconds, you're out of here. We have a wonderful parfait made with Greek yogurt, mixed berries, and our homemade granola that we make here at Lemon Falls.
Yeah, I like some of those pastries too. They almost look like biscuits and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Tea biscuits.
Yeah, all the bakeries made fresh every morning, and we have a scone that people rave over.
So what about people coming here grabbing and going, grabbing some something for breakfast? What do you guys put together?
So we have a wonderful breakfast wrap. We have a fried egg sandwich that we put on a brioche bun with Parmesan and wonderful apple wood bacon. We have our own steel-cut oatmeal with fruit and granola that people love.
I saw in Le Creuset, the oatmeal thing happened back there.
So, and toast and pretty much we can make you anything.
Coffee, tea,
espresso, cappuccino.
One of the great things about this too, people come in here, they grab something for breakfast, but they're pretty likely to take something home for lunch or dinner too.
Right. We have lasagna, we have mac and cheese, Right now we're making stuffed cabbage, which
Yeah.
is my grandmother's recipe, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, the food here all tastes homemade too.
Yeah.
What's that Italian thing? It's sort of a strata looking thing in there.
There is lasagna. There's a cheese breakfast strata that
Yeah.
you can eat for breakfast. That's really good.
I
in
like
there.
that thing too. It looks like it's a squash. Looks like a gourd, like a
Oh,
colorful gourd.
the
and it's
squash
stuffed.
filled with wild rice.
Yeah, terrific stuff here. And you guys can make almost anything. If somebody says, "Why don't you make me this?" Pablo can put it together,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, I saw him making some great sandwiches back there with it. What was in the turkey sandwich?
Turkey, brie, and a wonderful apple butter that we make here.
So you make that here too?
Yes.
So talk about crazy stuff here. You got a bunch of items for sale too, like really gourmet items. I saw a chocolate bar with Thomas Keller's name on it. I mean, that's a crazy chocolate bar.
It is a wonderful chocolate bar, actually.
Yeah, some really great stuff here. Stuffed peppers, I see. And I noticed dessert items too. A lot of dessert items.
Cookie. We make all the homemade cookies, and we have a Russian tea biscuit that, hands down, is the best around.
Mm-hmm. So what time do you close? I guess that's the more important thing to
We
ask.
close at 6:30 on Monday through Thursday, 5 Friday and Saturday, and we're closed Sunday.
Yeah.
And
You don't
we're
wanna-
here for you.
Yeah, you don't want to get down here too late because you'll look through the window and you'll see the stuff in the case and you go like, I missed it, I missed it.
Yep, it
Yeah.
does sell. We sell it.
And they're right on the corner of downtown Chagrin Falls, so it's pretty easy to find. What was this building before you guys redid
It was
it?
a gas station.
It was a gas
not
station.
before, when I grew up here, it was an old gas station. When we took it over, it was a little pizza shop.
Yeah. Well, now it's really something special, and it's called Lemon Falls. And how did you come up with the name Lemon Falls?
Well, we're in Chagrin, so Chagrin Falls, and
I got that part.
We do fresh.
Yeah.
So I think lemons are fresh.
So you go, Lemon Falls.
Lemon Falls.
Pablo, Jim, and whoever else you meet from town. It's a great stop. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
What should I have for breakfast today?
I would get the breakfast wrap. That's a favorite.
Thank you. Stick around. We'll have more right after the break.
Our breakfast tour of Northeast Ohio continues now in Lakewood. How does bacon avocado Benedict sound? Well, that is on the menu at Borderline Café.
My sister and I started the restaurant about 24 years ago. She had just graduated from culinary art school, and we had two elements, and that is it when we started the restaurant. We were on the border of Lakewood and Rocky River, and we had my Aunt Jean's recipe for salsa, and it was called Borderline Salsa. And so we named it that, for lack of any better ideas. It sort of is what inspired the Southwestern menu. When we first opened, that stuff wasn't really widely available in Cleveland. She makes everything from scratch, and she develops the recipes, and she's the best. She's the greatest sister and the greatest cook. She really is. Waffle curtain reach. The most popular thing, I think, is the bacon avocado Benedict, and Care Bear makes the guacamole from scratch and the sauce from scratch, and we cook the bacon really crispy, and she poaches the eggs perfectly. And it's delicious. It's got fresh cilantro on it, and lots of lime. It's really good, little wake you up kind of a breakfast. If people have been out the night before, they really like the steak and egg sliders with, meat and eggs and potatoes, and then nap time. It's not French toast. It's got sweet cream cheese in it and the berries. And we make waffles from scratch, and my sister makes all kinds of cool toppings. Chorizo tacos. They're so good. So we use the sauteed chorizo and eggs, fresh cilantro. My sister makes corn salsa with lime and a little onion and jalapeno. And she makes her own taco sauce and a little cheese, a little, cilantro, lime, sour cream. It's tasty. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thank you. It's just really nice to have been a part of a community for long enough to be just this little tiny patch on the family quilt in people's lives. Okay, have a seat anywhere you'd like. If you're not friends with your neighbors when you first get here, you kind of will be by the end because it's small in here. You gotta sit pretty close. our customers are so nice and talk us up and put stuff online, and so we get a nice crowd of regulars. Full order of stuffed French toast. We've seen like a lot of families, their kids have grown up and gone to college and come back in the summers and bus tables, and it's been a real good neighborhood place.
Borderline Cafe is a cash-only restaurant. It's located on Detroit Avenue in Lakewood.
This next diner is known for its pancakes. We're off to Garrett's Mill Diner in Stow.
I had worked in restaurants in high school, college, and a little bit afterwards, and kind of did the office world thing for about 15 years. Everything from IT to project management, and I just wasn't happy. And I thought, I think my wife is very understanding and supportive, and even more so than I ever imagined. And we started going around on Saturdays and Sundays to different small businesses that we knew were for sale. And after about 100, we were eventually introduced to Garrett's Mill. And I looked around and said, hey, I think this is more a diner than a restaurant. And so did a little bit of rebranding. We are most known for our pancakes. They are fluffy in the middle and they are crisp on the edge, and people just love them. It's still our #1 item. So you could order as a short stack with 2 pancakes or a full stack with 3. And the little known fact is if you don't share too much of the full stack of the 3 pancakes and you're still hungry, we'll bring you another one and not charge you for it. A lot of places will make the crepe on a crepe maker, and it'll be restricted to about this big. So we like to make them on the flat top because then we can make them a lot larger, fit more deliciousness in them, and make the customer a little happier. So the crepes, we actually have 3 different ways right now. We do a fresh strawberry with a semi-sweet cream cheese filling. We do a banana with a Nutella filling. Who doesn't love Nutella? Apparently some people don't, so we also offer a savory. And the savory crepe's gonna have chicken that we grill and season right here, as well as some fresh spinach and mushrooms. The breakfast burritos are extremely popular. Our most popular is going to be that loaded chorizo burrito, which I'm going to have to look at the board to tell you everything that's in it. It's a lot of different things. It's the fire roasted red peppers, the onions that we caramelize right in-house, 3 eggs, although sometimes it's 4 eggs. And we actually had to buy a larger shell for it to hold that, plus the black beans, the cheddar cheese, and anything else in there that I may have left off. The fresh jalapenos, which this summer have actually been from Diane's garden, which is great. So they're locally grown jalapenos and from Bedford Heights, which is fantastic. We have a really great team here. And one of the first phone calls I made the week I took over the place was to Hattie Larlin. Knowing the turnover that restaurants have, to me it just made sense. You want employees who want to work, you want employees who are going to be happy working. The bulk of our Monday through Friday hours are worked by individuals who are special needs who were very fortunate, came in with a bit of training through a local organization.
I've been working at Garrett's Diner for 2 years, and I love working here with Brian and all the customers. Bussing tables and doing the dishes.
Sometimes on a Sunday, Saturday when it's real busy, you've got groups of people, they haven't seen each other for months or years. They might want to spend a little extra time. We might then have some people waiting at the door a little longer for a table. And a lot of those are our regulars, and they appreciate both the food as well as what we're doing here, and it's quite enjoyable.
Garrett's Mill Diner is located on Hudson Drive, and that is in Stow, and they're open 7 days a week. Coming up after the break, it's coffee time in Akron.
One more stop to round out our breakfast tour of Northeast Ohio. And hey, maybe you like to drink your breakfast in the form of coffee. Here is Akron Coffee Roasters.
So Akron Coffee Roasters is just a specialty micro roaster here in Akron. We roast everything on site fresh, so all the beans that we serve in drip or espresso are roasted here. They've been roasted within the past, probably week or so from when you drink it. It's all super high grade specialty coffees. So that's kind of a short way of saying the best beans you can find in the world. I was doing accounting work and I wasn't having a lot of fun doing accounting work. So I was looking for an opportunity to do something else and was home roasting just kind of for my personal consumption. And like I said, I was looking for an opportunity to do something else and just kind of grew it out of a garage, you know, from there. So freshness is a huge factor in the flavor of coffee. Most of the coffee that Americans consume from like the grocery store or off the shelf has been sitting there for a very long time. It's an agricultural product, so it's going to stale once it's been roasted. So we like to drink our coffee or suggest drinking our coffee within 3 to 14 days of it being roasted. And when you're using really high quality coffee, you really get all these nuanced flavors in it. So when you read our cards, we have the flavor notes in there, which you may or may not taste. Some people say that we're full of it, but those are the kind of those special nuanced flavors that you get with fresh coffee. And once it's past that time, it starts to degas and kind of just stale. And it won't be bad coffee, it just won't have those real nice flavors that we kind of like to show off in our cool coffee. Yeah, so right now they're going through first crack. It happens close to about 195 to 200 degrees Celsius. And it's a physical reaction where the beans are expanding and actually physically popping or cracking. It's kind of the first indication that the beans are ready to be consumable product. If they haven't gone through first crack, they're underdeveloped and too early on to be a drinkable product. Yeah, we keep it pretty simple around here. No flavored syrups or anything like that. We're using really kind of high-end coffee that has a lot of cool flavors to it, so we want to show off those flavors. For our drip coffee, we do feature the coffees in pour over. That just is so that each cup is brewed fresh when the customer orders it, so they're getting a fresh cup of coffee. We think the pour over method highlights the flavors really well. But our espresso drinks are very popular. We have a specialty drink called a honey cortado, which is a small espresso and steamed milk drink. It's about 6 ounces total, and we sweeten it with just a little bit of honey, so it's got that nice balance of coffee, but a little sweet and creamy milk to go along with it. So, and we do a lot of education courses as well. So, for people that don't know a lot about coffee but want to learn, we have courses here and at the Art Museum throughout the year. We do courses on brewing basics. We'll teach you how to kind of the foundations of how to brew a cup of coffee. It's interesting because it's something that most people drink on a daily basis but don't really know all that much about. And once you start learning about it, there's a ton to know. There's a ton of different flavors you can experience through a cup of coffee. I think it's a cool way to experience things from around the world every morning. So there's a lot of fun things to do. The customers love to come in to see the roaster, love to come see it in action. A lot of people have never seen raw coffee before or seen the roasting process, so it just kind of makes that connection between the actual coffee itself, the roasting, and what they're drinking in the cup. So.
Akron Coffee Roasters is located in downtown Akron. Well, that's going to wrap up our 4th edition of our breakfast shows. And you can see here at Goldie's, I've accumulated a lot of friends. You guys want to wave? These guys have been amazing, let me tell you. I had to get them in the show, but we love doing these breakfast shows, and there's so many great places to go around. So if we missed your favorite spot, don't worry, you can email us or Facebook us as well. I'm going to sit down with my new friends. I realized when people like to come to Donut Shop, I was missing out this whole time. On behalf of David Moss, I'm Natalie Herbeck, and we'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland. You can wave bye again.